all of that stuff has made me who I am today because of the effort.
Yeah, you get to see that.
You know, you put in your blood, sweat, and tears into something. And even if, you know, you're not getting your product firsthand, you can't see the end result, you're going to get that end result.
That's true.
You know, you have to keep trudging forward.
Hey everyone, Reyna Torres here, and I'm super excited that we have arrived at season 2 of the Women Creating Magic podcast. I run my own creative studio, and I wanted to create a platform for amazing women to have real conversations about our experience in the entertainment industry, and just talk about that moment that we decided to take control of our lives as women. A safe and open space to sit down comfortably with a cup of tea or a glass of wine to relax and have an open conversation about their experiences as women in the entertainment industry. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and leave a review because all of that will really help us out and keep us going. Today, I spoke with Sydney Drapkin. We had such a great time talking and laughing about her experience being in a band and working for her family restaurant as the main chef. She's an unbelievable and powerful woman. I'm happy that she's part of Women Creating Magic. Here is Sydney Drapkin.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Green done. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, anyways. But let's start off with, like, you know, so what do you do right now? What are you doing at the moment? How did you start doing what you're doing right now? Because I just found out you play the piano. Like professionally, like.
Well, okay, so pretty much I started with music when I was like 5 or 6. At the time, I went to a private school, and at the time it was kind of the thing to have, you know, your kids do extracurricular. So a lot of my friends at the time, they all had piano lessons. My parents got me piano lessons with the same teacher. Teacher wasn't that great, didn't work out. But they ended up getting this old beat up baby grand piano. And when I mean beat up, I mean like the whole bracket where the pedals are underneath. Like you could just like pick it up and bring it with you. Like the whole, like it was trashed. A couple of the keys didn't work. But it was one of those things I didn't know if I was going to do it or not.
Yeah.
Started playing and I picked it up.
Okay.
Like instantly picked it up. Child prodigy kind of situation, but not to that extent.
Okay, so you
So
picked up reading music and
Yeah,
playing and stuff like that.
I ended up getting a teacher, doing piano, and religiously, I started doing competitions.
So you got some flappers on you.
Yeah, I changed to another teacher who is this really strict Russian woman.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
like,
she taught me pretty much everything I know today. She really shaped the musician I am today.
Oh wow.
With this classical training and that kind of thing. Once I got into high school, I wanted to join the orchestra, but they already had keyboard players. And I wasn't going to be like a third keyboard player and have, you know, play 3 notes in a song. That's not fun.
No.
And they didn't have a bassist. So I was like, well, my dad has a bass laying around, so I'll be able to practice. And I've always wanted to learn how to play a stringed instrument because up until I was 15, it never occurred to me in like saying this out loud now, it's embarrassing. I didn't know you had to press down on the string on the neck to make a noise. I never understood. I was like, how are these people making noises with the guitars? I can't do it. So I'm holding it down like it sounds really bad. So it wasn't until I was 15 that I realized you have to hold the string down to make the noise. I picked up bass like that.
Well, because I know my daughter plays piano
Mm-hmm.
and my middle son plays piano, and then my three of my kids they play piano.
Okay.
They read music.
Yeah.
And I know that if you know piano, you can pick up other instruments.
Anything.
Which is true.
Which is totally true because when you do it, you have the keyboard in your, well, at least for me, I'm visual.
No.
You have the keyboard in your head.
You do.
So once you know what strings you're on, what notes, you're like, oh, okay, this note is this note is this, and you can visualize if you're going up the scale, going down the scale, so it correlates really easily.
It does.
So I was able to pick it up, no problem. And then something I've always wanted to do was be in a band. Always wanted to be in a band. It was something in the back of my head, but at the time, I wasn't into rock music or metal music like I am now. I was into electronic and hip-hop.
So who were you into? Oh, exactly. That's why I'm like, ooh, Anthony's like,
I was like,
so
I got some stuff on my phone.
I'm obviously you still listen,
stuff.
so.
Oh yeah, like Little Mama.
Oh wow, that's
The Boss was my thing. What else? 3-6 Mafia. Oh yeah, what's that? Lil Jon. I had E40. I had some good stuff.
Yeah.
But I wasn't into it, so I was doing bass, and it was something I was doing for school, and I was kind of still doing piano on the side. At the time, when I was 15, I had a lot of anxiety. And one of the ways I was able to cope with it was through dance. Was I good at it?
What kind of dance?
Popping and locking. It's usually the response I get.
Yeah, because it's like
you see me and you're like, you're gonna pop and lock.
Yeah.
I could bust a few moves.
Okay.
But my favorite thing was people didn't know I did it. So at parties, a couple of my friends would be like, oh, Sydney dance, and people wouldn't expect it, and I dance, and the crowd would be like, oh my god, look at her, she could do it. So people kept telling me that I was really good, and it went to my head. Straight to the head, and I auditioned for America's Got Talent.
Really?
Oh yeah. Stood in line for like 12 hours. Didn't get a call back for the audition, so like the dream went. But I went through that whole experience of AGT, which is not what it looks like on TV whatsoever.
No.
But it was a ride, going through all of that whole dancing situation. Once I was 17, through bass and stuff, through a website online that you can find other musicians and band members and stuff, I put up a little profile and I found this band called Redemptrix, and it was my very first band. And I was 17 at the time. And it was with this guy who was a guitar teacher, and he knew guitar pretty well. He was at least 10 years older than me. And it was him as a guitar player, his friend who was the drummer, and then they got this singer who's now a kind of well-known singer. Pauline, at the time, she went by. And we were a band that did heavy rock, but the name was Redemptrix, and this guy was a little bit creepy, so he was like, I want it to be like Redemption, but Dominatrix. So we had like a female front and like me on bass, and it was just kind of weird and like didn't really feel right. So the singer, she seemed to be a pretty good friend of mine. Granted, there was a pretty big age gap at the time. It was my first time being friends with someone that I wasn't closely in the age range with. Her boyfriend was a drummer. They had a friend who was a bassist guitar player, and they wanted to do this small little metal competition where they could win like $200. Something really small. It's some beat up bar in the middle of nowhere. And they wanted to do it with Redemptrix, but we couldn't because we weren't metal. So we decided to do our own side project called the Raven Black Project. I was with them for a little bit. We did a few shows. We won a few competitions. We played the Hard Rock in Hollywood. I think that was like the biggest place we played at that point. I ended up leaving the band for at the time I didn't really get along with the singer and the direction it was going in. I was 17, 18 at the time in high school, figuring myself out. And I didn't want to be told what to do and how to do it and have someone direct me pretty much the entire time. So I ended up leaving. I still regret the decision because they ended up getting really famous. They ended up dropping the project and just being called Raven Black. And they ended up going on tour with Static X. They were going to go on tour with In This Moment, which is my all-time favorite band, Black Veil Brides, a bunch of stuff. Stuff ended up happening to the band or whatever. So that always haunted me. So I've always had that back in my head.
Because you're just like, you could have, ride the wave there.
I could have just kept my mouth shut, and I literally would have been able to tour with my favorite band. I learned my lesson, and I tried again. And I definitely had a few hits and a few misses with different bands and musicians. Some terrible experiences playing shows. Met some pretty cool people along the way. People that I still talk to this day that I've never really have done anything with, but just going through experience of growing and finding my people in the music industry. It wasn't until, what year was it? 2017, I want to say, that I went back on the website, put myself back out there, and I found the Human Extinction.
I was like,
And then what's funny about it is we sent each other a message, like, hey, are you still looking for a bassist? Whatever. Message got lost in the Ethernet of some degree. A year later, we actually communicated again, was like, hey, are you still looking for a bassist? Actually, yeah, we had a bassist and he left. Are you still looking to join a band? Yeah, I am. Ended up meeting Anthony, ended up meeting Steven.
Yeah. So, yeah, he told me about how they got you. And I was like, that's so cool. I was like, that's so cool. So, what you did, you auditioned, right?
Yeah,
so,
I auditioned.
Yeah.
I auditioned. I don't even remember.
Because people need to know, when you're gonna be part of a band, it's not just being good.
It's not just like, hey, I play guitar, I need a guitarist. Oh, okay, cool. Join, come over. No, it is an actual audition program.
Yeah. And you guys have to, like, mesh, too. Everyone's, like, attitude, personality.
And it doesn't matter if you're a famous band or you're, the Human Extinction's never played a live show. So from that, it's the same progress as that to whatever big band. So it was, hey, here are songs. Go ahead and learn them. You are lucky. There's a program for people who aren't musicians. There is a program called Guitar Pro. And basically what it is, it's music literature. So you can, instead of writing your notes and writing your music down on sheet music, it's just a digital form.
Oh.
But what's cool about it is there's sound, so you can do guitars, basses, drums.
Wait, don't you use that? Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, this sounds familiar.
I actually have Guitar Pro because Anthony gave it to me.
Oh.
Like, I still have the CD he gave me.
I was about to say, like, everything you're saying sounds so familiar.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's because he told me about it. Yeah.
So you're lucky if a band will use a Guitar Pro and send you the Guitar Pro files. If they do, it is a blessing, and you probably shouldn't have any reason why you can't nail it, because you have the music. A lot of times, though, you don't, and you have to go by ear, and
oh, shit.
Sometimes, it depends. I'd like to say I'm good by ear. I'm not the best to play by ear. It takes me a minute to really listen to something over and over and over for me to actually pick it up and understand how it goes, how it develops. So I went over it. I got the sheet music, studied it, went over to Steven's house and met Anthony, met Steven, and I played along with I think it was a CD at the time, I don't quite remember, but nailed it. And then we hung out, we talked, and then we decided, I believe it was that day, if not, it was later, we decided, they asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, I accepted, then you move on. And that's pretty much how it happens. If there's people auditioning more than one person, it probably won't happen that fast. I've had it where I've auditioned for bands, I've over-exceeded what they needed me to play. I've had...
It's like interviews, like you have too much in your resume, like you have too much experience for this position that we can't take you.
You know, it does. And what sucks about it is that does happen, but you also have that happen but get strung along.
See, I didn't know that happened in this scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, that's good to know.
Because a lot of the time, you know, what's the music industry? It's entertainment, right? So you have to fit an image.
Yeah.
And if a band is a company, you know, you have to think of it. Every band is a company. You have your goal, you have your standard, and, you know, whatever marketing, whatever look, motto you go by. Mm-hmm. So I auditioned for one band that was kind of looking kind of like a 2013 core boy band.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really look like that. But I over-exceed, you know, their expectations.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time it's, do we want someone that can overplay or do we want someone that fits our image? And unfortunately, especially here in Los Angeles, your image. Like,
your image.
There's tons of musicians that are famous that, are they the best musician? Are they the best singer? No, they're not. But they can sell themselves, or they have someone that can sell them.
That's true.
You know?
Wow, that's so true.
So...
But has it, like... So question, like, when you were going for these auditions, like, how did it make you feel when you got home? Like, knowing, like, this just happened to you.
I've had different experiences. Definitely. I've had experiences where I felt, what a waste of time.
Oh shit, yeah.
You know, what a waste of time. I put aside work, I put aside relationship, I put aside friends to make sure I can make it to auditions. To put aside time to study and learn the music. Or time to go and support them. You know, maybe they have a show and you're trying to get into the band, so you drive out to the middle of nowhere and you see that band and you buy their merchandise because you're trying to support them, and you know buying directly from a band actually supports the band instead of, you know, going through Spotify where they get 0.0001 cent. Yeah. Where they can make actually $17 off of a t-shirt you buy directly from the guitarist.
True.
So, you know, and I know that about the company, about the music industry. So there've been experiences where I felt like, wow, what a complete waste of my time, what a complete waste probably of their time, you know, like, what was the point?
Yeah.
And then I've had experiences where I was like, whoa, I'm so happy I'm out of that. Or that wasn't what I wanted.
Oh, damn.
And I've had experiences where, you know, I've come home and I've been like, okay with it. Mm. You know, okay with how it happened. Like, you know, I kind of made my own bed, I need to lay in it.
Okay. Yeah.
I've had an audition where I didn't get the sheet music, which for me is always like gonna have to try a little harder here. It was in a different tuning than what I was used to, and for some reason, I told myself, I don't need to go in there tuning. I could figure it out on my own, my way, because what? I'm Sid, and I don't need no one telling me how to play and what to do.
How old were you?
Girl, this was 2 years ago.
Oh, fuck.
Like, okay. Not even.
Okay.
Oh, I bombed it so bad, and I was so excited about it. I loved the band. I bought all their music. I got my girlfriend to listen to the music. I got my dad to listen to the music. I got everyone excited, like, I'm gonna go audition. And I get there, and everything. From the start of, couldn't physically get my amp in my car because my amp was too big and I was by myself at home. Then I called them, was like, oh, can I borrow yours? Oh, yeah, that's fine, no worries. Get there, their speaker doesn't work, have to get another speaker. Like, every step of the progress just
got worse.
So, sometimes I feel like going through all this, all these bad experiences, all this time and effort I've gone through has been for a reason. The whole me not being in Raven Black, I still hold on to, because for me that was you were so close, you were almost there, you could have had your dream and you got in your own way. So now I really try to just tell myself everything I've gone through is a learning progress.
But what if you did go through it? What if you're like, okay, this time I'm gonna shut up, but still had that mentality going into it? So how much more damage would have been if you had stayed with them? Like, you have to think about it, like, what kind of mindset were you at that time that could have damaged even being with them?
Oh, I mean, my girlfriend talks to me about it all the time. Yeah. In the sense of, if you were in that band, I wouldn't listen to your music because I don't like that music, and that's not the music you like playing. It doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
And that right there, she's 100% right. It doesn't make me happy.
It was the fame and the traveling. It was that. And when you're 17, 18,
that's what you want.
That's what you want.
I remember being...
The universe is like, that's not what you're going to get right now. No.
You need to learn a little bit more.
It's like, no. Stop.
Literally. Yeah. Literally, it was.
Because that's basically, because you're just saying that, I'm thinking, it's fun, but you're young, and going through that, shit, I can imagine all the crazy shit that might had happened, and you might have more regression now than you have now, like, before.
Oh, for sure. If I first of all, I wouldn't be playing the kind of music I like now, number one. Number two, I wouldn't have had just the life experience that I've had, just aside from music.
Yeah.
Just I've been through since, let's say, I started in bands at 17, and if I took off in that band at, say, 18, that it's been 10 years, and within that 10 years, I am definitely not the person.
No, because if I asked you, would you do it now?
I'm a chef. What do you? I'm literally a chef. And what's funny is, I think to myself 10 years ago, would I see myself doing what I do now? Running a kitchen, telling people who are at least
17-year-old you.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, you'd been like, fuck that.
Like, what?
A fucking chef?
No way. Granted, I've been cooking since I was little. I've always had a knack for it. So I've always had a feeling there might be something down the line where I'd be a cook. My mom's a chef, so it's always been there.
Yeah.
But no. What's funny is I say I'm a chef, but I'm more than a chef. Yeah. Because I have business experience. I have administration experience. I have a whole bunch of experience. I went to music school. I know how to work a soundboard. Mm-hmm. And if I went to that band and I took off, I wouldn't have any of this experience.
No, not at all.
At all.
No.
I'm a manager. I've been a general manager. I've done a lot for where I am. And hate to say it, but thankfully, I got in my own way. I hate to say that. I hate that I got in my own way, but I love that I got in my own way.
You did.
Because it stopped one experience, but it let me gain another experience. Yeah. And at the end of the day, the experience I gained is far much more than
traveling,
fame and
travel. It literally would be like a 15-minute of fame and done.
And then that's the other thing is,
I feel like you if you did that, you'd be, what is it that they say, like you'll be still trying to catch the. You'd be
get
still
the 15 minutes of fame no matter what.
You're still gonna want to try to catch that all the time.
Yeah.
And that would be your purpose. Imagine just doing that purpose and not having everything that you have now.
It's just superficial.
Yeah.
There's nothing behind it.
No.
And a lot of the time that I feel is you have to get along with the people that you're with.
Yeah.
You have to click, and it's not just, I can hold a conversation with you.
No, it's like...
It's, if you can be in a room for 5 hours at a time and get along and not want to rip your hair out, it's looking good.
Yeah.
I've had it where I've always been in the human extinction. I've been in the human extinction since I got accepted in it. Human extinction has gone through a lot of, it's a good word, repurposing, rebranding, re-recording, to make our sound and presence a lot better than what we have previously released.
Yeah.
So that's always been on the back burner. So I'm never not in the human extinction.
Anthony showed me.
Yeah. So,
by the way, the producer, he's part of this band.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, that's on the side.
Yeah.
I wanted to join a band where I could actually play regularly and meet up and play shows, because that's something for me that makes me happy and makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I went to an audition for a band. It was the Crown Remnant. I walked in, and the guitar player and I hit it off instantly. Scary instantly. Really scary. Like, we were kidding around with each other within the first 2 minutes of us meeting. And then it finally dawned on us that we met each other before.
Yeah.
An ex of mine went to this youth group meetup of whatever, and he was a part of it. And I only met him there. We didn't even exchange names, but I remember he was laughing and being so funny, and I thought he was hilarious. And just the moment we both clicked, we knew. We were like, this is it. This is it. So it's that. It's the energy, it's the vibe you get. It's the, can I give you some crap? Can you take my crap?
Mm-hmm.
Do you listen to me?
It's like brother and sister.
Exactly. That's exactly how
There's
it is.
gonna be moments where it's like, fuck, you're annoying, but I love you.
Mm-hmm.
We're sticking through this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the band, the singer, guitar player, him and the rest of us ended up separating. And the guitar player, whom I was friends with, the drummer, myself, and the old singer from that band, we came together and joined a band called No Kings, which is what I'm in now. And then the guitar player's best friend as well. And just, it's very different playing with bands where everybody gets along, where we will hang out just because they want to play video games.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And I've never been in a band like that before, where it was very...
Work. Like, let's get to business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's different.
Yeah.
It's a nice experience.
It's nice when there's a group of people. It's like what they say, if you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're in business, your surroundings should be other entrepreneurs and business because they know the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing with bands where like you have bands where they'll like just hang, you know, and just vibe.
Yeah.
And there's some it's like we can hang and vibe, but this is also like corporate.
This is a business.
This is a business. So we gotta like, you know, get on top of this and work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And, you know, I definitely feel like one of my bands is definitely hangout vibe, but definitely more business. Like, we're definitely pushing to get somewhere. And I think the other band is definitely more like a big family, and we all play instruments, and two of us are parents, and we try to wrangle all the children to try to get a decision made.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nice having one, and it's nice having the other.
Yeah.
You know, a nice balance.
Yeah. I hate when the people say like you can have your cake and
eat
eat
it
it
too.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do both.
You
People.
can do both. You know, you can do both.
I actually do hate that term because it's like saying you can't do both. I'm like, yes, you can.
No, you actually can.
Yeah.
Like, I do exactly what I want to do.
Well, you sound like you're very determined at a very young age, sort of like, I want to do what I want to do, and I don't care what you think.
Well, I mean, it stems, I think
it's more defined. It's how would I explain it to you? Because I'm like that.
Yeah.
I'm like exactly like that. Where I'm like, okay, I want to get this done. I'm gonna get it done now. You know, like that's it, plain and simple. But it's more refined.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's refined. It's matured. You know, you see all the strategies. You see all the variables. Instead of seeing one thing, you're seeing all these multiple versions, and you're just like, all right, I understand where I need to go to.
Exactly.
Compared to when we're young and we're just like, no. And we're just seeing this tunnel. We're just sticking to it. Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with, number one, my mom. Definitely. My mom is a very strong woman. Very strong-willed. She's an amazing, tremendous woman. She started her own catering company that took over private schools because she didn't like the way kids were being fed lunch. She thought they, you know, how are kids going to get good grades if they're eating, crap at school? That doesn't make sense.
No.
She went in and not only gave kids better food, but she also went in and planted gardens and had the kids harvest the vegetables.
Oh, nice.
She'd cook it and they'd eat it. So, kids that weren't able to have that at home, whatever they went through, whatever life experience they had, they were able to have it in school.
Yeah.
It picked up and it blew up. So much where the parents started going like, I want some food too. So my mom's like, sure, I'll cook for you too. She decided to do take-home dinners where the kid could literally go to the kitchen, the cafeteria, grab the parents, their dinner for a family of 4, and then they go back into carpool, and the kid has, dinner and it's paid for and everything.
Nice.
It got so big, my mom opened a restaurant. Like, I'm not kidding. It's always been her dream. And we've been there 10 years. I was there the very first day we opened, and I bust and ran.
Where is this place?
It is in Valley Village. It's we were featured on a Helpful Honda commercial a couple of years ago. They literally came in and they bought like $3,000 worth of food.
Whoa.
Like free food for people, and we were cooking there for 5 hours straight. Just get like a stack of tickets, like this big. I am not kidding you. And the tickets are like very, very, very thin, this big, and we just cooked all this free food for Helpful Honda. We've been featured on the show I'm Sorry on TBS. The cafe in the first 2 seasons is our restaurant. And it's great because when I was 17, the summer before I went into high school, be a senior in high school, I remember that summer was literally just renovating this big old nasty restaurant. Like, when we took it over, it was nasty, it wasn't taken care of, and my mom had pretty much my whole family come over, and we painted it, we cleaned it. I remember seeing my aunt in the middle of the kitchen, because there were stainless steel walls, just have a power hose, and she's just standing there power hosing the whole kitchen. You know? And how much, like, my mom is the one that painted the bathroom walls, and my dad was the one that spray painted all the dining room chairs, or he was the one that, you know, put in the counter. Or I remember the late nights of us driving to the middle of nowhere to pick up some piece of equipment for the restaurant. But all of that stuff has made me who I am today because of the effort.
Yeah, you get to see that.
You know, you put in your blood, sweat, and tears into something. And even if, you know, you're not getting your product firsthand, you can't see the end result, you're going to get that end result.
That's true.
You know, you have to keep trudging forward. A lot of the time, you know, I experience it where I get myself so hyped up to do this and that and the other thing, and I have to do this throughout my day and that throughout my day, and I gotta remember to do this, and I get so overwhelmed that I feel like I can't make it through the day. And then I am starting to figure out excuses to escape the situation I'm in so I can just relax. And a lot of the time I feel when that happens, it's when you gotta just take a step back, you know, and realize that the day comes to an end.
Yeah.
There's always an end. No matter where you are, no matter what you're in the middle of, there is an end. Mm-hmm. If it's the best thing in the world, there's an end. If it's the worst thing in the world, there's an end.
Yeah.
And I've really come to terms with how fast time is.
As you get older, yes.
Yeah. How
unfortunately. As we're kids, we're just like, wow, I can't wait to be like 18. But then once it starts, it's like the TikTok, like it's ticking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I think about how much longer I wish the day was.
Yeah.
How fast an hour goes.
Yeah.
We went to Vegas for my birthday over Thanksgiving.
It was gone.
It was gone. Yeah. I vividly remember the drive there.
It's strange our perception of time when we're having such a good time and having great conversation, and it just time flies so quickly. But if we're having a miserable time and you're saying like it feels like it's never gonna end.
Yeah.
It takes forever. But you're right. In both situations, there's always an end.
There's always an end.
Yeah.
And going through working 10 years with my mom, you know, granted, I mean, I work with my mom, and at the time, I don't anymore, but I used to live with her as well. Mm-hmm. My dad has always been in the picture. My dad was a camera operator and DP. Mm-hmm. He recently, within the past few months, retired. So he's always been on locations, never been there during the week, always been there kind of here and go on the weekends. Mm-hmm. So it's always been my mom running the company. My mom making all the decisions. And I've been in every single position there is at the restaurant, from runner to shift lead to baker to line cook, dishwasher, all of it. Mm-hmm. And I never felt going through it like there was an end. Never felt like I was doing it for a purpose. Never, you know, I'm doing it for my work. I'm doing it for my mom. It's a job. But the more experience you get, the harder you work. Because for me, I don't work to stay in the same position. I work to move up.
Yeah.
And I've always been like that. I remember being very, like, a server and looking at the general manager at the time and being like, you know what? I'm going to have his job one day. I remember very vividly telling myself that.
Yeah, that's usually the case when you're an artist or an entrepreneur, like a business person. You're constantly thinking of like, I need to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. The next level.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've gotten up to general manager, and then I've gotten back down, and then I've gone back up to general manager, and then I've gone back down. And I felt the gains and the not so great situations with it. And now that we've made 10 years, now that I am the head chef, I am the head honcho, as we would say, it's been worth it.
Yeah.
I can stand on
That's
the other
how life is.
Yeah.
It's up and down.
I can say at the other side of it, it's worth it. Am I stressed out right now because I have a whole bunch of stuff to do for work, and is this person going to show up, and is this person behaving, and is this person... Yeah, I'd be crazy to stand here and say, oh no, I got it covered, it's fine, I'm not thinking about it, I'm cool. No.
The question is it worth it? And the question, does it make you happy in the end of the day?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like when people need to know, like, when you love what you're doing, no matter how hard it is and stressful and how, like, fucking panicking we get, we still keep doing it because we love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I like having to manage people all day? Be literally an adult babysitter? Do I like, telling people like what to do and telling like, you cut that green onion wrong. What do I care that you cut the green onion? But that's my job.
That's your job.
And it means something.
Yeah.
It means something. And do I like doing it? No. Do I like that my job means that I'm the bad guy a lot of the time? No, I don't.
Yeah.
But do I find happiness in cooking?
Yeah.
Is it what I love doing? Yeah. It is. I can go to a food store and spend hours in there just looking at all the pretty produce. Like, I literally have to go food shopping by myself.
I was about to look at her and be like, I'm assuming you're at home. By the way, her girlfriend's here. People.
Yeah, my
girlfriend.
Hi. My girlfriend is here. She's sitting right next to me. She's supporting me today.
So I'm just like looking at her like, I bet you stay at home.
She either stays at home or she stays in the car playing video games on her phone or watching.
Have you been to, I can't freaking pronounce, is it Gelson's?
Gelson's, yeah.
So I've been to the one in Seal Beach.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the winery and stuff in there. Oh, jeez, yes.
They all really bad.
It's so, well, that's the only one I've seen, like, with the wine.
That's the thing is, Gelson's, I feel, is a food store for people who, like, really want to spend $20 on, like, a slice of cheese.
So I'm not fond with the market.
Yeah.
I'm very fond with the food court.
Right?
Like
their
people,
deli,
like,
their other stuff
like,
is great.
Like their wine and their food, because they have like freaking, poke bowl station and all this stuff.
Like Wolfgang Puck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but everything else I'm just like, I can go to Sprouts, I can go to like fucking the store for this shit for like way lesser price.
Right.
But I used to go there just to get food from the food court.
Yeah.
Like the food area. Yeah, that's the only reason I would go there.
Good.
Yeah, because you're right. I don't want to spend $20 of cheese where I can just get it for like $5.99.
My mom is a chef. She is a classically trained chef. She's been in the business for years. What is her number one or two favorite dinner items? Gelson's salads.
Oh shit.
I'm not even kidding you.
They're good.
There have been multiple times I've heard my parents go, "Do you want a Gelson's salad?"
Does she like Mother's?
No, she hasn't been to Mother's because there isn't one around her. So otherwise she'd probably go.
You've been to Mother's?
No, I haven't, but I've seen it.
Oh my god, so they have a gluten-free carrot cake muffins? Oh my god. It's so moist. Mm-hmm. And like, fuck, I feel guilty eating. I can eat all four of them. It's so bad. Mother's is so good.
Yeah.
Their food, oh yeah, you need to go. Yeah, everything else is like whatever to me. Mm-hmm. Like they have interesting food in there, but like I remember one time me and Anthony went there just to eat lunch, and we just got a bunch of stuff, and we were just like, oh, this is so good. So delicious.
Yeah, I like Whole Foods. When I'm feeling bougie, I'll go to Whole Foods.
Honestly, probably been inside a Whole Foods once in my life. Once.
You have to go to a good one. You get your Whole Foods, sometimes a hit or a miss. If you go to a small one, it's gonna be a miss.
Well, see, the one that when I used to work in Seal Beach, there's a huge one there, but it's such a bitch to get in that parking structure.
Always. What is it with the parking structure?
I don't know. But I just did. That's my reason why I went to Gelson's instead of Whole Foods. Or they had opened up a Mother's, and it was like 2 minutes of a drive, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm going there, because I actually do like Mother's. Mm-hmm. And then my hood in Norwalk, they were having a Sprouts, and I was like, there's a Sprouts, we're gonna go down. You know what kind of like started fading away from me was Trader Joe's. like their instant like food, like little prep, like it's
Yeah.
just not the same anymore.
It's really not. Like a lot of the
I'm
stuff
like,
I
from the
used to
chef
like.
here, people like trust me, like it, you know, no.
If you're looking for regular items, produce and stuff,
Cool.
100%.
They're nuts. They're nuts, and they're dried fruit.
No one can beat a 19-cent banana.
No.
You know.
No.
But
they're
yeah.
pre-made
The
meals to go and
sounds-
eat. Like, no, it's not the same. No.
It's alright.
No.
It's
Like Sprouts for me, I love, because that's what I would get at lunch. I love to have those little, like, kids' little lunch things. And I'm just like, oh, this is so cool. I love it. It has like a cookie and water and
Like
juice
everything.
and everything I need in a small little thing.
Perfect.
And their soups. Oh, so good. Yeah. That's what I'm excited for when Sprouts opens.
Yeah.
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 Because Mr. over here is the one who cooks. I cook. I cook, but see, I'm the type, he can follow ingredients, like he can follow a menu, like really good. I wing it. Like I know how to cook. I'm a good cook. I know that. 4 fucking kids.
Yeah.
I'm a
Like
fucking-
you don't have a choice.
I have no choice.
Yeah.
I need to learn to cook.
Yeah.
But there are things that I do that I'm just like, yeah, I just made it up here. Like, eat it. And he's like, oh, this is really good. I'm like, yeah. I was just like, I don't know, it just made sense. Like, my brain just worked for it. Like, as long as you know the fundamentals and you've done it for such a long time, you already know what to prep. And I did that the other day where I was just like, I just cut up these apples and put some, granola, and I put some, condensed milk. When we microwave it, it'll melt and it'll taste good. And we're eating. And he's like, yeah, it was really good. I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, see? There you go.
But I mean,
I'm the one that definitely cooks. I cook.
I like how you said that. Like, I'm the one who definitely cooks. But you enjoy it. You're like, I'm the one who definitely eats.
Haley can boil water.
My sister's done that. She
can make
literally,
cereal.
she made the whole place smoke. She boiled,
My job is the strainer.
ah.
I'm the strainer.
Yeah, she holds the strainer when I need to strain pasta. I will, because I want her to feel included, like she's cooking. I will call her from the other room. Come here. She'll run in. She'll hold my strainer. And then she walks out.
See, our team thing is, like, we'll cook together, and we're it's like a dance. We know how to flow. From the beginning, we always did it, but I've noticed more now. Like, if it's something that he's gonna do, I'm the cleanup crew, because I'm the type when I cook, and I guess that's like a chef thing too. When I cook, I like to clean
As you're cooking?
I come cooking, and he's seen this. He's seen it. I'm like, I'm cleaning, I'm also cooking, I'm cleaning, and I'm like, all right, cool, I don't have a mess. Mr. Ortiz here does not do that. Mr. Ortiz is like, bam, bam, bing, oh, delicious, it's fucking delicious. But then you see the kitchen, and I'm like, oh my fucking Lord.
Well, see, if you ask me, I cook and clean as I go.
Yeah.
If you ask my girlfriend, I do not do that. I stack every single dish. I use every dish in the household, and then I leave it in
Like,
the
we're
sink.
all like, we gotta capture her.
And then and then I don't rinse the dishes. What else?
You use every dish. Every
do.
time.
Well,
Every single pot and pan.
well,
Every utensil.
here's the thing. I always start clean. Because I don't like cooking in a dirty space. So I will clean the whole kitchen, scrub everything down, good to go.
Yeah.
Start the mood. And then as I start, I'm cleaning, picking up, and then I start getting excited in the meal. And then, there's something going on the TV, and then things start sizzling. I'm like, oh, where's my spoon? And then things start piling up. And then I call her in, and then she's like, oh, no.
Oh no, I've catched it, and so when he starts, I start cleaning, and I'm like, he's like, I need something very cool, and I'll start cleaning. I'm like, all right, give it to me, and clean. So when he's finished, I'm like, all right, cool. I don't like that much, too much to clean, but that's him.
The best part, as you mentioned, is when you can cook with someone, but you can dance with them. It's a dance you do.
We do. It's like.
It's a dance. It's funny.
We
You don't
got that
talk
right.
about it,
No.
but you dance,
Yeah,
right?
you do.
And it's funny. That's actually what line cooks do.
Yeah, that's what you strive to have your line cooks. It's to dance
you dance with it
in the kitchen.
I have
Without, and it's a flow. Everyone knows
exactly.
Yeah. And I've never worked in the kitchen, but you have.
And
yeah, sure. You have. But I've noticed when we started cooking together, I noticed that we were doing that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we flow. Like for some reason, we're so good cooking together. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a thing. My lead line cook right now, I've been cooking with him for a minute now. We cook so well we don't talk.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk to each other. We will read the ticket. He's doing half of it, I'm doing the other half, and we're plating it at the same time.
Yeah, that's like the perfect.
That's literally what you strive for.
Yeah. No, I'm mostly rubbing on him and like kissing him and stuff. That's like that's
That's what you're supposed to do. You're home.
Yeah, we're home. That's right. We're in the kitchen in the professional settings. Yeah, that's I get fired.
We also have a kitten named Elvira. She's a little black cat. She likes to sit on my shoulder while I cook. So she'll just lay across my shoulder, paws here, and I call her my little sous chef. So she'll be there, she's chilling. I'll just be stirring a pot, and I'm telling her what I'm doing. We go to the fridge, we grab everything out and make sure she smells it. I'm like, is this okay? Okay, it's good. We keep cooking.
We have what we call, her name is Zoe.
Okay.
And she is our tester when we have shrimp. That's my daughter, because she's a shrimp person.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we have shrimp, what's the thing that she says? You gotta say this loud so people can hear it.
She says a lot of things.
Like when it's shrimp, she's like, "Is it ready, done? Can I take a taste?" Like,
oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's her favorite food.
And one time, I was like, "No, Anthony's coming with food. He's gonna cook."
Is it shrimp?
He barely, he's not even walked in the house.
I love
and
it.
she's like, "Did you bring shrimp?"
Where's the shrimp?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I love it. That's so funny.
Yeah, and she's our kind of like our taster whenever we were doing shrimp. I'm like, "Here, taste."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like yesterday, what did we get? Was those pepper with sausage on it thing? What was it called? It's like that pepper and it had a sausage on top of it.
Sounds good.
Yesterday.
Oh. What about it?
What was it? It was a pepper, right?
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was a bell pepper.
I don't think it's a bell pepper.
It was like a different pepper.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
It was like cut in half, kind of like a big jalapeno popper.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was the pepper sliced in half, and then it had all this sausage in there.
Ooh,
Oh my god, it
really
was
good.
so good. We air fried that and we're like,
Maybe, yeah.
Stater Brothers, we got it, and he's all like, "Oh, look at this," and I'm like, "Oh, that's really cool," and I'm like, "Put it in the cart," and he's like, "Wait," he like literally, "Wait, really?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, like put it in there." And I'm in my period, people, so I'm like, "Yeah, put it in there. That sounds amazing. Looks good. I want to eat it." So I take a bite. I was like, "Damn, this is so damn good."
Yeah.
So I told him like, that's what I said in the text. I was like, "Can you make pasta in that green thing, like green pepper with the sausage, please?" So I was like, "Cause I'm hungry." Like I don't know. This period is hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some are, and some aren't.
Yeah, some are just like, I don't want to eat. Everything smells like shit. Like, go away.
Or like, I feel sick to my stomach. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
And then others are just like, where are you? Why aren't you home?
Dude, so he did that one. Not that he wasn't there. It's just he brought back. He left, and it was the last period, and I was so much fucking pain. And then he like left, and I'm laying in bed. I'm like, I'm not getting up. I'm just like, this is really killing me. He comes back with the tray, and he has like tea, and he has all these little stuff in there. And the tea itself is for PMS. Like, it's for that. And I started bawling! Was I not bawling? I was just like...
She just lost it. Broke down.
It's like, why? Like, oh my god. And I'm like... He's like, oh my god, you're crying. Like, no. Like, I'm like, no, this is happy tears.
Oh yeah, I'm a total sap. If I look at old people too long, I start crying.
Oh no!
Like I'm bad. I can't watch weddings on TV. I can't.
Oh no! See, I know if
So
I'm closer to my
emotional.
period, I cry for every little thing. Like I'll just look at the sky and be like,
I'm also just. I'm also just naturally dramatic. I'm really dramatic. So just 2 and 2 just go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, when you're like that. Yeah, pretty much.
Or very extra. Is what my girlfriend likes to say. I'm extra.
She's extra. Yeah, I think Anthony would say that about me.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, okay.
like that. Yeah.
He just like automatically went, yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
You said it on me.
You're the calm one. You guys are the calm ones. I'm like, look, beanie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely grounds me. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like I'm just a balloon full of helium sometimes. Just, let's go over here. And she's like, no, we're staying here. You know, keeping me, yeah.
I get the point. I'm like,
exactly.
yeah, this one right here. Because he's like, Reyna. And I'm like, okay. Cool. And it's funny because I've told him, like, you know, you're like the first man that can tame this. Because I was like, before my exes, I always felt like they're telling me what to do. And I always felt wrong about it. Like, don't tell me what to do. Like, you know, what the heck? Like, I was never comfortable. And then I met this one, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm okay. I'll do what you're asking me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But before it's like, what? No. Like, walk away. Yeah. Now I just told him, like, you have no idea. Like, you have changed me like so much. But that's because I allowed it to the point where I'm just like, because I love you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's the reason. So.
Yeah. When I met Hey, I was definitely closed off. I've never been with someone where I was able to be my full authentic self. I'm very goofy and sassy and loud and embarrassing.
That's why we're so good connecting.
Yeah.
Because I'm exactly the same way.
I am 100% embarrassing. Like, I don't care what I look like, and I'll go out shopping. Like, I really do not care what people think of me. You know, and I had a lot of people where I wasn't, for whatever reason, like, I just didn't feel like I could, you know, really
let go,
yeah, or like
I had how they're gonna react to it.
Or like I had to behave a certain way because they're trying to fit an image, and I didn't want them to be uncomfortable, so I didn't want to put them. For some reason, as soon as I met Haley, I just everything, all the walls just went. Boop.
Same. I have to agree with you. Same thing with Anthony. I could be completely myself.
Yeah.
Like a total freaking. Sometimes he's like, "You're a dork," and I'm like, "I know."
You're like, I know.
Who knows? I'll be doing kitty sounds in the car, and he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like what?
Yeah, exactly.
He hates it when I do kitty sounds because he's all like, "Stop." But I'm like, "Why? I could do the dogs or the whistling." Oh, geez.
Oh, she's an awesome whistler. Like, yeah, it's impressive.
You were trying to whistle something, and I'm like, "What are you whistling?" Because
What are
he
you
whistles. He whistles breathing in, not
Yeah,
out.
I inhale when I whistle.
Yeah,
That's
she's
so
all
weird.
like, what?
See,
She had this,
I
like-
can do both ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she could do both.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Very
Well,
good.
he tried to do out,
Yeah,
and
it's kind
nada,
of weak. I don't know. Because I've
nada.
never done it.
You're like,
really.
Yeah, I get too much air in there sometimes.
but do it. Just do it really quickly. We'll take this out.
So I'm inhaling.
Yeah,
But-
instead of like,
Yeah.
Now you're a sucker.
yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, I can
what
do
were-
both,
What
but-
were you doing? Which one were you trying to whistle? The Andy Griffin show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were playing this game in the car. Like,
Oh, okay.
start whistling a song and we'll, guess what it is. And then that's when I realized, oh shit, you're really good at whistling.
Yeah.
Like the way she does the melodies is very on point. And my theory is like, because you kind of sing,
Yeah.
you sort of have a background in singing.
Yeah.
And that was my theory
I don't
of
like
why
singing in
she's
front
good
of.
at
He's
it.
the only one I could sing in front of. And my daughter. And that's it.
You gotta get over it.
I know.
You know, no, that's why I told myself, because I Yeah,
I gotta get over it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know, but I choose not to.
But here's the thing: there's always going to be someone that can sing better than you and someone that can sing worse.
Oh
than
yeah, oh yeah.
you. So with that mindset, who cares?
I did like 3 semesters of classical like singing, like opera singing, and I thought I would be okay, but it's just so like I still get nervous. And I don't get nervous with him, you know, and that's how I knew.
That's how you know when you're like, there's nothing there.
No.
Nothing there at all.
exactly.
Like, I remember feeling, like, I've always, like, you know, when you're in the first stages of dating someone, you're like, oh, you feel like, oh, I want to marry you, oh, I see a future with you, that very superficial thing. I remember the very start of our relationship and vividly remembering, like, I want to experience life with you, not just the good stuff. I want to, you know, experience what it is to, you know, fight with you, what it is to, you know, lose something with you, to go through the ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And I never felt that ever
No
with
way.
somebody. Yeah,
That's how you know.
that's how you know
Yeah.
for sure.
Like
100%.
See, with him, like, how do I explain it, like, in our relationship, like, we don't argue.
Mhm.
We disagree, but we never, years, we don't argue. We disagree on stuff. We get upset, but not towards, like, we have such an open communication, like, I'm constantly asking, like, okay, what's going on? What's wrong with us? Like, is everything good with you? Have I crossed any boundaries? Have you crossed any boundaries? So I think that the line of communication, it's great. And also, we've gone through a lot of heavy moments where it just made us stronger.
Yeah.
And I literally tell him, like, the other day I was like, you're my business partner, you're my best friend, you're like my dude, you're my lover, you know, you're my side bitch, you know, you're all this stuff.
Right?
Like, you, like, literally, you're all this stuff, and I love you. Like, that's all I'm saying. Because I always tell him, I was like, I was telling him, like, I gotta be a hoe for you because, you know what, another hoe is gonna want to do it for you, so I got to play this role for you, you know? Same thing for you. You gotta be my side dude for it.
For real.
Because it's like, but the thing is, I literally fell in love with my best friend.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like, we can be totally being 2 dudes talking, or we can be totally a couple just talking, or 2 business people talking, and it's amazing, and it's beautiful, and I want to say that's one of the things that I love about us, you know. And we don't really argue. We don't. It's strange. Like, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I got upset, but I mean, I never was like, fuck you, get away from here.
Right. I kid you not. I've had an experience where someone got so upset with me. Actually, both of us. That they threw their arms up in the air and screamed and ran away like a banshee.
Oh shit.
Yo, yeah, my ex.
Because I mean, I've had ex where I got like into like really
No.
argument, but that is crazy.
This is like, okay, so, good
like
example.
a banshee? Really?
Haley and I met on Tinder.
Okay. Ah.
Met on Tinder.
She's like.
And my previous girlfriend at the time I was with for a little over a year, less than 2. I met her on OkCupid, and we were dating for a minute. She came in. She lived in North Cal. She came into LA. I was looking to move out and find a place of my own. I needed a roommate, so she flew in. She was looking for a roommate. Her living situation wasn't the best. We're like, oh, perfect. We ended up living at my parents' house for 11 months. We finally found an apartment and moved out. When we moved out, and even before that, we decided that the relationship wasn't working, but we're best friends.
Okay.
So, totally cool. We had got a 1-bedroom, and she started dating this guy named Ian. And at the time, granted, biologically a woman, At the time, I definitely identified as a woman. So for me going like, hey, you just dated me and now there's some dude.
Wait, let me. You got me. Wait. So she like you dated.
We dated.
You dated, and then all of a sudden she's like, well, I'm into dick now.
Okay.
I'm
out of the
bringing
blue.
dick inside the house.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, well, you know, I doesn't really matter. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's not what you said when we first started dating, but...
So when she first started dating, she's like, I'm full on,
I'm
like,
a lesbian.
I'm a lesbian,
Whatever.
I love women, that's all, you know.
So she started dating this guy. She's dating him for a few weeks, and granted, I'm doing my own thing, and she's like, well, why don't you start dating, you know? And my therapist at the time also said, why don't you start dating? So I'm like, okay, well, one person saying I should probably do it.
Yeah.
I was on maybe for a week and a half, 2 weeks, met Haley. And my ex at the time, she was very manipulative and very controlling. And for some reason, even though I was an adult and I paid the rent at the apartment, she didn't want someone new to come over before she met them. Because
That's weird.
Didn't make any sense.
didn't make any sense. So Haley and I decided to meet up at the apartment. Screw her. On a day she wasn't there. You lived in Tustin at the time.
Yeah.
You lived in Tustin at the time. You come down. It's probably about 2:00.
Mm-hmm.
We sat in my apartment on the ground in the bedroom talking for 4 hours straight. Just talking about everything under the sun. And then we're like, okay, well, you know, maybe we should actually go on a date now. So we're like, okay, let's go to Universal City Walk.
Oh, yeah.
Great place to walk around.
Yeah.
Well, we went there and talked some more for 3 hours. And then we came back and we sat at the park, because I had a park across the street. We sat there and just talked. And she looked at me and she goes, I've never actually talked to someone this long before. Just have never met them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I haven't either. And we just knew, you know, just being able to sit with someone for that long and just get along and just like being in each other's company.
The vibes, like it's like the energy is so good.
Exactly. So we started dating. Your living situation wasn't the best time, so you came in and lived with me. Now I am living with my current girlfriend and my ex-girlfriend at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one in one room and I have the other in the other room. I'm not kidding you.
Like this is like the lesbian novela, people.
It really is. I'm not kidding. My ex would literally,
I'm assuming she's a very jealous woman.
yeah.
Even if no connection, still a jealous woman. It's the whole striving part.
Well,
she probably wanted you to suffer.
Wait till the end of the story,
Oh,
because
shit.
this is not where you think this is going whatsoever. She didn't really work, so I paid for almost everything.
Ooh.
Yeah. She would just sit there, play video games in the bedroom. She would literally live in the bedroom. And I pretty much had to supply everything in the house.
Whoa. That's a lot.
She found out, and Haley was super thankful for living with me and having been able, and I came clean to her and I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm having a hard time paying for rent. So Haley was like, you know what, I'll go get a job. She turned around literally the next day, got herself a job, and started bringing in money to help pay the rent. Something that my literal roommate who was on the lease wasn't doing.
Mm.
My roommate had a really bad dairy allergy. Really bad. Like, instantly sick. Well, apparently she didn't have the money to buy the food in the house. So, Haley and I would go to the food store and purposely buy almost everything that had whey in it. Or some sort of dairy so she couldn't eat. The whole purpose of this was to force her to get her off her butt and get a job.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't like there weren't jobs. There was, I would come home and be like, this place is hiring. This place is hiring. She just didn't want to.
Yeah.
it got so out of hand. We tried to communicate with her one night about, you know, we need the money or this is going to happen. We can't pay for this, so we're going to have to move out, or that ended up being the situation at the time. We were downstairs and we said that to her, and she just had enough, and she flew her hands up and screamed a giant scream and ran away down the street with her
With
hands
the
up.
hands still up. Something out of a cartoon.
Like, I can't make it up.
So she had a breakdown.
A breakdown. Well,
Like a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, we ended up having an ultimatum that was like, I had to write her a letter that was like, hey, well, you know, this needs to happen or we're going to move out and you didn't do this, so therefore we're breaking the lease. Go grab your stuff, we're gone. And she ended up, she had a rabbit at the time. We both got rabbit. She ended up coming back, grabbing the rabbit, and leaving. Later we found out she was dating someone in South Dakota the entire time, was waiting for them to get out of the relationship they were with so she could be with them. She then ended up going to South Dakota. We moved on with our lives. And then out of the blue, I went on Instagram maybe a year later, 9 months later, something like that. And her best friend, who I was friends with, said that she passed away. All of a sudden. I started getting messages from her grandmother whom she lived with. You know, for the memorial service, can you send me these photos? You know, I felt really weird. It's like, oh my God, like my ex passed away. Like, it's not something one would normally go through, you know, having that, especially leaving on such a
bad term.
bad turn.
Yeah.
Year or so goes by, and for some reason, it kept crossing our mind, this doesn't seem right. Something isn't lining up. So we spent $1 on White Pages and looked her up. She's alive. Allegedly.
Allegedly? Oh, she's like,
We don't have proof, but there are some things still active.
There were things that were still active within a week of us searching for it. And what was scary about the whole situation was we knew it was her because we traced it back to me on the internet.
oh.
Yeah.
So she faked her death?
Well, allegedly.
Or tried to reach out to you?
One or the, I don't know.
I'm all like, how crazy can a girl go? Very crazy.
Like that's the thing is like really
Crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, someone can go that far. Yeah.
So like if she's still out there, you know, great that she's still there.
Well, that sucks because you went through that moment of thinking she's fucking dead, and that's
And like not even
regardless
that.
of how it ended, that's still like emotionally traumatizing because you're just like,
For me, for her, and then what about her grandmother?
yeah,
You know, everyone that got crossed.
yeah,
You know? Right?
fuck,
Yeah.
yeah. This is a total lesbian novela.
Yeah. I think that probably was the craziest.
That is
Situation.
crazy. That is fucking crazy.
But
Well, I mean, if she's passed away for sure, and then like for some reason that should happen, then you know, like how would you say, like, Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, like stay up there. But if she's not, that's fucked up in
Yeah.
so many levels. That's like the messed up thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that happened within what, the first 3 months of us dating? 4 months of us dating?
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
So
something
you're still here.
extremely early on. And we made it through that. April will be 5 years.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've
Yeah, you have to go
been through a lot.
You know what? Like Anthony, and I'll say this because I told Anthony, what was the catalyst that you were like, yeah, we're gonna be together. Like I want to be with you, and he told me it's because I noticed you stick with me. Like no matter how many times I fucked up, you still stick with me. You believed in me, and I was just
It's
like,
that
yeah, I did. Like if I didn't, I would not have been going through it. Like, I saw something that you may not have seen, but I saw it, and I want to stick with it, right? So, I mean, that's one of the reasons you're just like, I see something here, and I want to stay with this.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons. So that's why you were there, even though that's some crazy-ass fucking story.
I mean, I've dated before, and I've been in bands, and I've brought them a couple times. I didn't really do anything, just kind of sat there on their phone. Haley was the one person that I dated that actually gave a damn about what was happening. She listened to all the music, she studied the music. Anytime, I mean, you may not know this, Anthony, but anytime Haley came to rehearsal and something was wrong, she would know, because it didn't sound like the recording. You know, she would critique me in my playing. She'd make me a better player in who I am. Not like, oh, you played that wrong, but like you're doing a really good job, maybe do it like this.
No, that's
type
what
of
it
thing,
is.
like a coaching type of
But
thing.
that's what it is. Like, there are moments where he tells me if I'm doing something wrong, and I'll tell him.
Mhm.
And I also, in that same spectrum, I always tell him, look, I'm saying this, you know how, like, straightforward I am, and I don't sugarcoat stuff. And I'll tell him, like, you know, I'm seeing it in my perspective. I would say, this is my perspective, and it's up to you whether you want to take it or not. But I always tell him, like, okay, maybe this wasn't the right way, or maybe this was the right way. But again, I always throw with, it's my perspective. So if I'm crossing any line that's bothering you, let me know about it. And that's what it is.
Mhm.
That's what it's about.
I mean,
You know? People don't get to that point. Like,
no.
it's so crazy, but people really don't get to that point in a relationship. It's
Or-
so hard.
Like, Haley isn't one to really, no, she'll put herself out there, but, like, great example, The Human Extinction came out with a single a few years ago, and we needed a cover, and we needed a person's face, and we needed to be painted. So we used Haley. Literally, the cover of one of our singles is Haley's face.
Really?
Yeah. And the amount,
I'm just like,
you know, and, you know, every time it comes up, it just makes me smile, because, like, that's my girlfriend. Like, she has a great face, and it, like, fits the theme and all that kind of stuff, but, like, you know, like...
he's like, yeah.
What? You know, it just makes me, like, really happy. You know, having someone that...
That commit.
Yeah, or,
Yeah.
like, we film music videos, and she's always there. Whether, you know...
Wait, that's your face?
The one with the flag, and it's kind of...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Haley's face.
Oh, crazy. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a fun shoot.
that was a fun shoot.
That was great.
It was in my parents' garage.
Yeah. You did the makeup.
Yeah, and I did the makeup for it.
I was blind as hell.
Yeah, and she didn't have glasses, so she didn't know it.
Oh.
She kept asking me, because she wears glasses. Yeah. Am I going towards the camera? Because she had to walk straight, but she couldn't see.
Well, if I remember correctly, I had the thing around my eyes.
Yeah,
so,
she had a
like,
thing
I
around her
couldn't-
eyes, so she, like, there were some takes where she would just kind of walk off.
Oh
It's
man,
funny.
should have been like a string and be like, just follow the
Yeah,
string.
just go.
Just follow the string.
Got 2 pipes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, how can people search you out? Like, where can they find you?
They can
I
find
mean,
me.
I mean, you can promote also the restaurant thing, 'cause that'd be
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I always find myself by just Googling myself. Because I'm on Arachnid Cabinets. I'm an endorsed artist for Arachnid Cabinets. I play leg guitar guitars, even though you can't find me there. Harvest Moon Kitchen and Marketplace is the name of the restaurant I work at. My
I need
mom's
to go there.
mom's
Anthony needs to take me.
We're known for breakfast and lunch, BLTs, bakery items. We have 14 plus bakery items. We have a grab and go case salads, pot pies, quiches.
I want
Full
to go with
catering.
my daughter. Yeah.
Oh, it's
That'd be
great.
Fun.
Yeah, so you can find me there. My bands, The Human Extinction, THX Official on Instagram, and No Kings CA for my band No Kings on Instagram as well. I I believe you can also find us at No Kings Official on YouTube and look up our music videos that are there, along with Human Extinction.
Nice.
So you'll be able to find me there.
That's nice. I like that. You're doing so much. Crazy.
You know what's funny is like I say that I'm doing a lot, but I don't feel like I'm doing anything.
That's the same approach when I tell people they're like, wow, you have so much, and I'm like, I really. They're like, how do you do it? I'm like, I have no answer because I have no. I just do it.
I just do it. There's
and it doesn't
no
feel
option.
like it's like a
Mm-mm.
way over my shoulder. It doesn't feel like that. I just do it. Yeah.
Like what you said earlier when I first came was, there's some times where you feel like you can't get through the day, and like, how do you get through it? And I give myself a day. Like, if I feel like a breakdown coming or whatever, I give myself a full day of like, you know what, I'm going to feel like crap. And I'll probably take a bath because that'll make me feel better. And you know what, I might order in because I don't feel like cooking and having to do dishes. But I give myself a day. I give myself a time limit.
Yeah.
Because I've had depressive episodes where, it's taken a lot to get myself out. And I don't want to, even though there's a voice in my head that's like, saying go there, go there, go there.
Yeah.
I don't let that voice win because there's no point.
No.
It just nothing comes out of it.
No, it's a good thing is that you recognize it.
That's
a lot of people don't recognize that.
Well,
and it takes time.
I recognize it because I've had a lot of therapy.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Even if you have therapy, people still trickle down to that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's also, when it comes to therapy, some things work for others and some things don't work for others, and it really depends. It's a very personal, very, very personal thing. And for me, I've seen people for a long time, whole different types of variety of people, and I've done a lot of self discovery, especially with just not taking the straightforward path out of high school, going to college, finding a husband, wife, settling down, get a kid, all that kind of stuff. Can you imagine if I had a husband?
I don't know, man.
No.
No.
Like, that's...
Even
no.
Anthony's probably kind of like, what? No. What?
I said I can. She's the fan.
Yeah, that's... you look at me and you're like, shh, that's butch. I'm not.
You're a fan,
I'm very...
but you're not lipstick.
I'm not listening.
No.
And that's the thing is, when it comes to LGBTQ, PRX, XYZ, all the above.
I
1, 2, 3.
I literally tell them the LGBTQ universal spectrum. That's what, we should just say, the universal spectrum, because literally, yeah.
You think, there's, in the gay world, a top and a bottom. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Male, dominant, submissive, female, whatever it is. It doesn't matter the genre, it doesn't matter the sex, and it doesn't matter gender.
No.
Nothing has to match up.
No.
I could present myself as very butch. I can say I am non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
I can say all the above, but that doesn't change how I act. That doesn't change how I feel inside.
No.
I would never wear a dress. I would never wear a skirt. Any of that kind of stuff. But I sure as hell might wear heels one day and paint my nails and do my makeup because that's how I feel to express myself. That feels what feels good to me. On the inside, I feel very flamboyant. You look up drag queen in the dictionary, that's how I feel inside.
Yeah.
But you look at me and you're like, that's not, you sure?
No.
And I don't have to be like
I have
that.
a friend, we're just becoming friends now, that he sometimes wants to wear a skirt and sometimes he'll paint his nails and sometimes put his makeup. And there are days where he wants to be totally fucking thug and shit and just drop it like that.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My, when it comes to photo shoots and music videos and stuff, my band will ask me oh, are you going masked today or are you not? Mask standing for masculine.
Yeah, masculine. Yeah.
And they're
like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, so I'll be like, no, I'm going masked today or whatever, and I'll put my hat on.
But that's funny you say that because earlier I was just talking about how me and Anthony, we associate each other. I'm her, she, and he's him, he. But I was saying with Christina Ricci. and I just, like, this happened, like, the night before, people, and I'll just mention it. I was just like, damn, I literally looked at him and said, she has nice tits. And, you know, that's a very, and we're a couple.
Yeah.
And how would I approach that, like, very dude, you know, kind of sense of, like, mentality? And I was just like, it's because it's normal. It's okay.
It's normal.
It's okay to think that way. Because I literally will be having him with dudes around here, and legit, they'll be, like, acting as if there's another dude in there. And he's like, yeah, you're just like another dude. I'm like, well, yeah, because it should be a norm thing. Like, a woman can definitely go either or, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
Like, in your case, if you wear heels, makeup, nails,
whatever. You know.
like, whatever.
I don't remember the last time I did, but I feel like it.
What if they told you they give you $100,000 tax-free and you wear a skirt for a whole week?
Done. Girl, I need that money.
And then they tell you, like, okay, it has to be like a mini skirt, you know?
Done.
Oh, shit.
Well, here's
She's
the thing.
like,
Here's
no.
the thing. I had a femme phase. I had a femme phase for 4 months.
You did?
I did. There's
wearing-
Instagram proof. Not my current Instagram, so you'll be hard to
You
find
mean, like,
it.
dresses and stuff? Or just, like, very
4
just...
bras, 2 hours on the makeup, did the hair. There were definite moments there where I was quite feminine. You know, and then it didn't feel authentic.
You know, that's funny you say that, because there are moments where and he sees how feminine I am. I like to dress up, but there are days where I just want to be, like, with my dickies and my shirt and just fucking, like, I guess, butch it out. Like, I actually like feeling that way because, backstory, I used to play basketball in high school. And back then, in the early 2000s, basketball was Jordans, baggy shorts, boxers, baggy shirt, hair pulled back, and you look like a fucking dude. And that's how I would dress when I would play basketball.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I look like a dude. But the funny part about that is that, like, the minute I took that off, I put my little tiny, skinny little dress, pink one, with my tanga, and my heels, and they're like, damn, like, what the fuck happened here? And I was just like, well, you gotta do both, homie. Like, I can do the baller and I can do the pretty girl thing.
Exactly.
But, see, the baller, because I've been playing basketball since I was, like, 10 years old. So from 10 to, like, high school, 18, that is a part of me that I still consider today, like, where I just want to wear baggy shorts, baggy shirt, and just be like, oh, like, what's up? Like, and even the way I would sit down, my mom would correct me and be like, why are you sitting like that? And I'm like, this is fucking comfortable. Like, why is this wrong? She's like, no. Don't sit like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is it? So now, literally, when I'll be sitting down, I'll just be like legit, I'll just be like this. Mm-hmm. And my mom be like, I'm like, what? Leave me alone. Stop correcting me. This is normal.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
I get what you mean. Like, it's normal.
I follow this individual. They are a writer. Believe they're a philosopher. I don't quite know what they do. They do a lot of things, but they're non-binary. Their name is Jeffrey Marsh, and I watch a lot of their videos. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person, inside and out, honestly. Biologically male, dresses feminine, completely feminine. Dress, heels, mannerisms, all of it. And at first, you know, society makes you question it. You know, even I'm part of the community, and seeing that I'm part of them, and seeing that first, there is that hesitation of like,
well, they automatically already, like, right now, which just happened, categorize you as butch, even though you're just like, no, sometimes I femme it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and my reaction was like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's funny is if you don't know me that well, you think of me as butch and presenting masculine and that kind of thing. But the people who really do know me know how dramatic and over the top and feminine.
Well, to be honest, like, when I first started seeing you, like, when he would mention about you, and I saw you on Instagram, I loved your look because you were like a, how would I explain it? The first time I saw it, I was like, I told him, I fucking love that she's so like metal with her fucking hair, and she just like fucking goes at it like that, and it's so feminine. And I remember telling him about it, and I was just like, I don't know, but it looks really great on her. Like, I love it. And I saw what you were trying to portray there.
Yeah.
You know, I got it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think of like, oh, she's a rocker, she's butch. No, I literally was just like, I love her look aesthetic, and I love how she has long hair, and that just gives me that femme.
Yeah.
But also that rocker girl. Like, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A question I get a lot is, what's it like being a female in like a male-dominated?
Oh, it sucks. It sucks if you're femme.
You know, and that's the
Like,
thing.
if you're very girly.
It sucks if you're girly. If you're in a band, it gets stinky. Just know it is stinky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
that is the one shock for me that I didn't really realize is, you know,
you're considered one of the dudes.
you are considered one of the dudes.
And then so
you
there's
need to-
no filter.
there's
It's
no
just
there's no filter, and they're gonna behave as such. You know, I love when people don't treat me differently.
Mm.
I hate it when they treat me differently. Absolutely hate it. Like, good example. We had this producer guy come film one of our music videos. I'm talking about No Kings. Now, every one of my boys I hug.
Mm-hmm.
The guys hug each other. We're friends. That's us. But you know the handshake when you meet someone. You do that like the, yeah, man. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. The man thing. Okay, so this guy goes around
Doing that to everybody.
doing
All
it
the
to
dudes.
everybody.
Yeah.
Comes to me.
Fucking dainty as fuck. Oh gee.
Goes to the guy next to me. And granted, you know, I'm kind of looking like the way I am now. I'm not, does it matter? No, but I'm not presenting like a female. I'm not presenting, I've hung out with them all afternoon. There's no reason for them to treat me a certain way, but they still treat me a certain way. And that's the thing that, no matter what, is kind of always there. It's like one thing is females. Every female knows this. Every single female knows this, and surprisingly, a lot of males don't know this, which I find hilarious. There's certain things women cannot do that men can.
That's true.
Walk outside at night.
That's true.
Say things to people that you know. There's certain things that are just not safe for women.
Yeah, it's true.
And
I
I
can't
don't
walk by night. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I don't think it's, talked about enough.
Yeah.
Is Haley will go outside to smoke a cigarette at night. Hey, do you have a pocket knife on you? If she was a guy, I wouldn't care. Why is that?
Yeah, because it's not a threat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Is you have to balance it. You have to balance of like, they're gonna treat you different, but you have to accept it in a certain degree.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd see, like, for my mindset in that, I'm sort of like, I would probably, my loud mouth, I would probably, like, I don't think this is cool. Like, I would just call them out. I like to call out people. I don't care how it's gonna be, I just call you out for it, because as you get older, you just don't give a fuck anymore.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
That's what happens. That's the good thing about aging, is that you get older, you're more mature, and you articulate in such a way that you call out people.
You call it the bullshit.
Yeah, you call out the bullshit, and then once you do that, guess what? That never happens again.
See,
But in that environment, now if we're talking about others, shit, we can't go through each one to like fucking calling out people's bullshit. You can't,
and
that sucks.
and another thing is, the Bell community in SoCal is so small. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is related. And unfortunately, in entertainment industries, you have to make sure that your name, your image stays clean, no matter how small you are.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's a good thing you said that, because there is an incident that happened with someone that we associate with, and a friend of mine, I was gonna, and then a friend of mine was just like, you know, you have to think about it in a business way.
Exactly.
And I remember telling him, like, I'm gonna hear that individual out and see from their point of perspective. But I kind of already had a mindset with, like, okay, I can't leave this tarnished. It has to come in a business sense, but I know what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
And it sucks because it's true. And as a female, I think it's weighed way more than it is for a man.
It is, because, you know, as much as you want to stand up for yourself, and let's say in that instance for me, you know, getting, you know, a hug or like a handshake instead, as much I would want to say something.
Mm-hmm. You want to come off like, oh man, she's a bitch. Like,
there you go.
She's a bitch.
She's a bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
which sucks, because it's like, if you said the same if another dude said, what's up, man, why aren't you just like fucking rolling it with Sid, then he's not an asshole. He's just like calling out the bullshit. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I know. It sucks. That's why I want to do this short film and have a woman crew, and so people can see how it actually can be run.
It actually, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's true. They'll call you a bitch. See, I've experienced things like that where I've told them, like, in that moment, I told them, and please do not think that I'm a bitch. Because if I was a man and had a dick between my legs, you wouldn't be thinking I'm a bitch. So before you jump into anything, think about it for a second. If I was a man and I said what I just said to you, you wouldn't be calling that man a bitch.
Exactly.
And I always, like, if I have any argument with anybody, I always make sure I say that, because it's like the little elephant in the room, sort of like, I know where you're going to lead to this. I'm not stupid, so I'm going to jump 3 steps ahead of you and tell
I'm just going to cut it off before it starts.
Yeah, exactly. Before you go out and just say, she's a bitch, you can go out and say that, but we both know that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing the podcast, I'm doing the short film, I'm pretty much doing a lot of things when it comes to women, feminists and stuff like that, because I want to be, I'm just like, I have a voice, and it may not be major, but at least I can do something and say something, because I have a daughter. I don't have boys, but I have a daughter that's going to look up to me. Mm-hmm. And what kind of model do I want her to see?
Yeah.
So, in the end of the day, all of this is being done because of that reason right there. That reason.
Yep.
I don't want people to think she's sturdy and she's hard because she's a puta. No. And not the dessert people. Like the Spanish, Mexican puta. Like, I'm not a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It's at least it's kind of getting there, where the industry, it's getting more women. There's more directors, there's more roles for women to play in bigger productions, you know, not just like in the face of it, but also behind. So
I feel like that's 100% true, but at the sense of
it's like
it's doing the reverse. It's also doing the opposite.
Mm.
Where, let's say you're trying to be diverse, let's say you're filming whatever, mixed crew, men and women, but you're purposely trying to be diverse, so you purposely choose a woman even though they're not suitable for the part. You're still you're still doing it, but on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So it needs to be just. There needs to be a purpose, a reason, a genuine, reason as to why women are moving up and being chosen and doing all these great things. It's not because men are giving us the opportunity.
No, that's the thing. That's what sucks about it. It's just like
it's that we're doing it for ourselves.
The reality is that there is men giving women opportunity. The reality that is the truth. Mm-hmm. Hurts, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
That men are giving women these opportunities to like showcase and but also given to that, even though that's a negative, that person that's giving that opportunity, like if I was to give that opportunity, I would I would hate it, but at the same time I would run with it and try to fucking expose it as much as I can.
Yeah.
So I endure this bullshit so this other person doesn't have to endure it.
Exactly.
And that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. You know, that's what a lot of women are going through at the moment.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I mean, like, you know, the first burning of the bra, guess what?
That's exactly, and
they had to go through that shit in order for us to go through this right here.
I mean, let's think about the LGBT real quick. I mean,
oh yeah,
for all the people that lost their lives, have stood up, so Haley and I can walk down the street and hold hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's miraculous.
Yeah, and now that, you know, when California actually passed for us to marry, and now for the Supreme Court to actually pass everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened, and I was so happy for California to actually do that.
Be able, yeah.
Yeah. And then hearing this not that long ago.
Yeah,
I was like, what? I was like, oh, hell
yeah.
I was like, what's going on? I was like, what's going on here? I was like, oh shit, let me go to that. Let me go read this. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy.
Mm-hmm.
I was extremely happy. Because for me, in my darkest moments, drag was the thing that brought me away from all the depression shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I literally, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah. Drag was the thing that got me away from depression.
Yeah. 100%.
And it was the RuPaul show. And then after that, I went to, like, the first convention, and then I got into it. And then I found out my cousin used to do drag. And then he used to do Selena. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? Yeah, I didn't even know this bitch used to do that. And then I remember for a long time my mom was just like, you really got into this. And I was like, well, because this is the thing that really got me away from thinking all of this. Like, if I did not find this, I probably don't know what would happen to me. I don't know exactly what would happen to me if I did not find. I literally can tell you right now, it was a night that it was late at night, I was crying, I was depressed, and I was going through the shows, and then I fucking stumbled on RuPaul, and I was like, what is this? And then that's how it started.
Haley knew about drag queens for sure before me, but I opened that door. 100%. And we have not looked back.
No way.
Yeah, I remember watching RuPaul's Drag Race Season 1 when it came out.
Mm.
Way back in the day. I remember going to the first RuPaul.
You went to? I took pictures with him.
I met Willem. I met Thorgy. And then one of my favorite shirts I got from Laganja.
Oh my god.
It's her face and it says, I feel very attacked.
That is just so funny.
One of my favorite shirts.
Yeah. Did you know what's his face? Not Tupac. Notorious B.I.G. She was there.
Really?
What's her name? Oh, shit, not Mary J. Blige. It's his.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
She was there. I can't remember her fucking name. I don't know why I can't.
That's
She was there.
so
She was in the line for you to go up and say hi to her. Nobody was lining up because nobody knew who she was. I was like, and I went over there.
I had a drag queen, not in drag obviously, come into the restaurant one day. I flipped a lid, and I'm working in LA. My dad's in the industry. Famous people don't faze me whatsoever. But I flipped my lid. I had a moment. I needed to recoup.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I have a good friend, Miguel Briance. He did the makeup for, I think season 4.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. But I remember the first day that I went to the convention, and I was like amazed. I was like super happy and just like giddy, and I couldn't wait to take pictures with RuPaul, and yeah, and then after the following year I went, and then it got so big. Now it's in the UK. Yeah. Drag Race New York, and then UK. Yeah.
Drag Race was good before it blew up.
Yeah.
When it was before it got mainstream.
Yeah. Now that like
everybody, it's
way too much now. Like the last time I took my daughter, and she loved it because she's like, "That's like a banana drag queen," and I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Look, this is like a unicorn drag queen," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." But it's just way like it's like Comic-Con.
Dragula.
Yeah.
Dragula, Boulay Brothers.
I need to take him to Hamburger Mary. Like, I need to take him there.
Yeah.
Like, I need
For
to take
real.
you there.
We saw Juno Birch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when she came to the Roxy, we saw Juno Birch in Licorice Black. Amazing. We looked next to us, and Sharon Needles was incognito.
No way.
Literally next to us. Like this. Hiding. Watching. And we were kind of freaking out. Like, Sharon Needles is right there. Oh my God, so cool.
Oh, you're going to trip out. So, the second year I went to the drag convention, and I didn't know where I was sitting was supposed to be blocked,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody told me to move, so I didn't move. And there was like it was the waiting room for everybody to chill. And I was like, oh shit, I'm like so and so, and I'm like, where am I? Where am I sitting? Each one of them walking in, like right here, passing right there. And I was just like, where am I? And then I remember my friend was like, come on, let's go down. So I was like, no. And I go down there, and they officially blocked it. And I was like, I couldn't go up there. I was like, oh.
Called me away for the best thing.
Yeah, I have like pictures. Dude, it was like, I remember putting a wig. It was so much fun.
So fun. And that's the thing. And that's exactly what drag is about.
Yeah, fun.
Literally, it's fun. It gets your mind off of stuff.
It does.
That is literally what drag is.
Yes.
And it helped.
I know. I've seen like some shows that just fucking teared me out because I was just like, wow, that was like so artistic and beautiful and ugh. Yeah, I can't. I need to take you I need to take you there for like brunch, so you can be like, oh,
Experience it.
I'm not sure if I should take you to the one in Long Beach or the one like over there
In WeHo.
WeHo, yeah. Should we take you there? Yeah, brunch. I should take Zoe because Zoe loves drag queens. My daughter loves drag queens.
I grew up around drag queens. My mom was a chef of a corporate kitchen in a media building, and almost every single one of her staff, all men, were drag queens.
Oh shit!
Almost every single one. So I remember every Halloween, going to see the queens. Just going to work, and I mean, I remember this man was already 6'2", big man, 6'2", and he wears 7-inch heels.
I don't know yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, and they're like 10 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love everything about drag. Every single thing.
Same. Oh, jeez. Yeah, same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Yeah. When I told him, I was like, yeah, I like drag queens, just letting you know.
Yeah.
Remember when I was like, yeah, I like drag queens. And I try to watch a show with him, but he's just like so not into it. So not that he doesn't like or anything, he's just like that doesn't gravitate to him.
Yeah, that's not
so I'm just like, well, watch this on my own time.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah, for us, no, it is drag queens all the time.
I think he'll change his mind once he sees the live show because it's so different when you actually see it.
Once you know what it's actually about, it's not just people dressing up and singing.
Because I told him,
show.
If you can get a drag queen to do a music video and you fucking do it great, guess what? That bitch is gonna be telling their other friends to be like, you're gonna go to this guy to produce your music video. Mm-hmm. I am telling you, I always tell them, like, if you get a drag queen to do a music video,
it's true though.
Shit you not, that they're gonna tell everybody and they're all gonna go to your ass about it.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Because it's so small. The community is so tight-knit. Yeah. Someone knows someone who knows someone is going to speak.
Yeah, and then they're like, it's amazing, it's great, you need to go to them, and you have a lineup thing. I want him to do a drag music video. I remember this was one of the first things I said, like, it'd be really cool if you did like a drag queen music video, because you will get so much money out of it, just letting you know. For me, it's more like, I get to be around a lot of drag queens, so it'd be amazing. And he told me, when did you end up telling me if you do end up?
I was like, well, yeah, I'd be down, but, you know, if it happens, my knowledge of that world is very limited, so I would bring her on as like the art director.
Well, now you have Sid, because then you can bring her.
Yeah,
yeah, there we go.
I'll know.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's funny. Well, this was a great combo. Like, we hit so many topics. It's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, so much for Anthony to edit.
Yay, Anthony!
issue with the music.
Oh yeah.
No, it should be fine because it probably sounds like a background thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, as long as it's not like metal or something
No.
heavy and.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
I sincerely hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Thank you so much for joining us and listening. Don't forget to like, comment, leave a review, follow us on socials, and subscribe because you won't want to miss the magic.